All right, first point. I have been talking about stocks, and these in particular, GameStop, AMC, because they are Nokia, because they are the stocks that are spiking in the market right now, that are forced for short, that are now being squeezed. I don't want to go into what that means now again, and I'm not the best person to explain it. Essentially, big guys bet on the little guys to lose even more than they already have. And so a bunch of people are putting their money in to that little guy, and that alone, that action, boosts the price of that stock. But also people putting money in boosts the price of that stock. And now it is so overly inflated that the people, the big guys, that bet, that wager includes a limit of time and a cap on price. That price is now way over what that cap was. So now they're out the difference. And the out is infinite if those prices keep going up. So that is why people online are saying, keep driving the price of GameStop, keep driving the price of other stocks that you see going up a berserker amount. Dogecoin, DOGE, is the ticker sign. That is one that we're watching very closely. Very closely. Tomorrow we're watching it very closely. Okay, so this is not a stock channel, but the reason I bring all of this up in the last week, and the reason that I have comments lovingly asking, what is this, a stock channel now? No, I'm not a good person with money to begin with, let alone investing that money. It's because the number one hedge fund that is taking hits on this GameStop stock is Melvin Capital. Melvin Capital is the group. Now there are others. You've seen the headlines that say $70 billion lost in the market. These hedge funds, I think it's 5,000 of them cumulatively, are set to lose $70 billion. Sorry, I don't look more sad. But that $70 billion has to come from somewhere, right? Melvin Capital has tens of hundreds of billions of dollars that they're worth on paper. In cash, they're worth $12.5 billion. They're going to be out well over $1 billion. They just lost their ass in GameStop, because they bet. I think they had GameStop to lose at like just so far under what the price is now that, again, it's essentially infinite. If that price continues to just stay where it is, they're fucked. And again, PG-13 rules, I'm using that one F word once, not related to sex. So here we go. Melvin Capital. Well, who runs Melvin? You got to be wondering, who's taking this hit? Who is it that's paying for the Twitter trolls to go out and tell you, don't buy GME, buy AMC, and all these others, and dilute your business with GameStop? Don't buy GameStop. Who is it that's telling Robinhood and Ameritrade and E-Trade and others, hold off any purchases on GameStop so we can let it drop? On the naked stock, NAKD, let that drop all the way back down. Don't allow any purchases so you can't buy the dip. Just allow the sale only so people can sell at a loss. We'll make our money back, and that'll be that. That's what they did. That's why the whole Robinhood lawsuit occurred. That's why I made that video earlier. But it goes deeper because Melvin Capital, as I'm sure you probably know, or if you didn't, let me tell you, is owned by and run by CITADEL. CITADEL is a bigger investment group. It's an American multinational hedge fund. It was founded in 1990 by Kenneth Griffin. CITADEL is one of the world's largest alternative asset managers. It's got $35 billion in assets. Well, that's quite a bit bigger than the $12.5 billion of the subsidiary, right? So you'd think, okay, so CITADEL clearly has a lot to lose in this gamble as well, because so long as people are able to legally attack the market the way they have been this week on Robinhood and E-Trade and Ameritrade, Schwab, and other accounts, Public. Go to Public. If you're watching this right now, do two things for yourself. Get an Odyssey account and then subscribe to the channel. And then get a Public account. Go and get the Public app. It's a white box and it's got a blue little multi-point ribbon print in it. That is the app. It's a great app. It's a better alternative to Robinhood than you've ever seen. It doesn't have everything that Schwab or Ameritrade will have, but it has got instantaneous access to these GME, AMC, and others that Robinhood was blocking. So check out Public. This is not a sponsorship. This is just me telling you how to get around some of these corners that the establishment elite are trying to put in front of you, so you can't turn the corner with them. You got to walk the line and follow orders and lose money when they tell you to. Lose money when they say you're not allowed to buy that. Only the good stock people are. Well, at that point in time, at 2:47 p.m. today, Public was allowing you to buy all these stocks because they lifted their volatile trade rule. Because there is something to be said for if there is a scam afoot, you don't want your users to be sucked into a scam. I get that. Public, excuse me, I keep thinking it's Picnic, I don't know why. Public lifted that as soon as they could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Robinhood was just being, well, screwy. Screwy with your ability to buy things, which is I think the FBI indicted people for infringing on people's rights. They called it conspiracy against rights. So I'd like to see Robinhood people arrested for conspiracy against rights, among other violations with the SEC, I'm sure. But just understanding that the Citadel is an incredibly important piece of all of this because they control Robinhood. Citadel was 40% of Robinhood's revenue last year. Again, Robinhood, the app that the Redditors are using to do all of this, the app that shut down all of the purchasing of the apps of the stocks today, that made a lot of people lose money. It kind of was a counterpunch to this effort. Those efforts themselves by Robinhood are being asked of and requested by Citadel. Citadel pays Robinhood 40% of its revenue. I have to imagine Robinhood says, whatever you ask, Citadel. Citadel calls and says, we need you to freeze all sales or all purchasing on GME, but sell anything that's lower than what they bought it for. They can only sell for less than what they bought it for. If they try to sell for more, if it's higher than what no, hold it. And now watch your app when you say, I got GME, I'm up 10%, but I see that I can't buy it anymore. I'm not sure about this bet anymore. They may shut it down entirely. I'm going to sell. And you hit sell, and it says, we will send it through at the end of the day or at close for best price. I can buy it immediately. I can sell it at the end of the day if they can get to it at their best price. But when they need to save their money, they'll freeze the market entirely. That's fair, right? No, the Citadel's corrupt as shit. So who runs it? Who's running the Citadel right now? Well, it's Ben Bernake. How do I know that name? How do I know that name, Ben Bernake? Because I've heard, like, kill Ben Bernake. Like, I've heard that before chanted. I think that's right. It was during Occupy Wall Street. Ironically, people have said we're going into a new Occupy Wall Street. On January 31st of this year, people anticipate occupying the park in New York that will lead to the new Reoccupy Wall Street 2021 edition. That is a fact. I watch it happen. I'm calling it now. So, Ben Bernake, essentially, what you need to know about him, he was the chair of the Federal Reserve during the financial collapse in 2008, served under Bush and Obama. He's a classic establishment money pig. And the guy that replaced him at the Federal Reserve was, you guessed it, Janet Yellen, the new Secretary of the Treasury. Now, when he left the Reserve, he didn't just go anywhere. He went to Citadel, where he has worked ever since. So, put those pieces together now, because I said earlier this week, we've got weird fuckery going on around in the stock market. And you've got a bunch of different people to fault, but when you see the people taking a stab at the establishment, the elite, the stock market, the Wall Street itself, you're no longer occupying it physically, you're taking it over like a pirate. These are pirate ships attacking stock markets. And you see the guys who run the game pull the emergency switch and shut the whole game off. Turn the lights on, hit the sprinklers, this is done. Because they were losing. Because we figured out how their game is played and then trapped them in it. And literally trapped them in an infinite loss cycle where so long as we kept buying, they kept losing. And there was no way out but for when we said they couldn't call uncle. So they stopped it entirely. That was what the whole Robinhood thing was about. Ben Bernake is the guy who makes that phone call. So when I said earlier, who is it at Citadel who's calling Robinhood saying, kill it all, pull all of the purchasing, let them buy it for less, or let them sell it for less, but do not let them purchase anymore. The guy on the end of that phone call is Ben Bernake. And we're supposed to believe that Joe the Potato Biden is going to do anything about this, that Janet Yellen is going to get to the bottom of this. This needs the special counsel's special counsel of special counsels. This is why I feel so bad that we don't have a real, actual global ally. Not someone a part of the UN, like an actual best friend country that like is secret, that no one knows about, like an island that we can say, hey, Guantanamo Bay, Estan. We need your help because our entire government is corrupt. And it's proven right here when it feeds into the financial establishment and they rig each other for success and they rig us for failure. Hey, Guantanamo Bayistan, any of the people of that nation, we would love your help. That's what I would be saying if we had a best friend nation that existed. But we don't. We just have a military looking at you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for liking this video and sharing it with all of your friends and family that need to know Ben Bernake is behind the shutdown of Robinhood and the funding, the saving of the hedge funds that they're trying so desperately to keep alive. To fuck you over. Sorry, I keep using that's 3 of them. To screw you over, as well as myself, and to save their butts. So instead, like I said, like, share, subscribe, thank you, and do everything else that you can do to keep America afloat.